Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
Okay, up next we have, which is one of my favorite calls to take, is actually two people on the line. I'm assuming they're a couple.
You're kidding me.
And this is Valerie and Bill.
I couldn't be more excited that we have
a
couple on with us.
Yeah, they're calling from St. Louis. Hey, you guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And you're both here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So fun. Okay, so great.
Boy.
All right, how can we help? What's going on?
Yes, ma'am. So I inherited a large amount of money from my dad.
How much?
Like $1 million plus.
Wow.
And it's in the sale of his house is where it initially comes from. There's actually an addition to that inheritance that's in IRAs and things of that nature. It's like 2.5 locked up in that. But
wait, 2.5.
So
wait, hold on, real quick, Valerie. 2.5 in the investments and the $1 million from the house, or is 2.5 altogether?
No, it's separate. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 3.5. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So my question is, I would like to give a little bit of this money, not a lot, just a little bit to our 4 children. Right now, my dad didn't leave him anything. I was the only child, and so he pretty much just left everything to me. But I would like to gift them some. And the dilemma I'm having is that I have 4 kids in 4 different financial situations. My oldest one is married with 3 kids, a wife that works, has a house. He's financially okay. My second son is married, has a wife, 2 children with one on the way. Could use a financial bump, if you will, owns a house. My daughter, who's also older, she owns a house but is living with her boyfriend, who they own the house together. I know that's a real Dave Ramsey no, but but anyway, and so she's financially well. She's graduated nursing school, and she's got a good head on her shoulders financially. She's the saver. And then I have a daughter who is currently in college and still lives at home, who needs to get hit heavily in the head with the Dave Ramsey financial piece. Seriously. So you can see I'm kind of all over the map with if I give them some money, how do I gift it to them? I don't want to enable one. I don't want another one to just blow it. I don't want to, potentially give them money and put it on the principal of the house.
Let me jump in for a second. So how much are you planning to give each child? The same amount or different amounts?
Same dollar amount across the board. It's not huge. I'm just thinking
all right. Where's Bill?
What do you think?
Maybe just 10,000. Just like 10,000. Just something just to kind of help them ease their financial life
all right.
now.
So where's Bill at on this deal? Bill?
Yes, sir.
Where are you at?
I personally think they wait until something happens and we pass on to the other side and they get the whole shebang that's in our trust.
Okay. This is This is an interesting discussion.
Okay.
Because I read a book, which you guys should read just for this discussion, because I don't agree with the entire book, but it's parts of it.
I love that you're coming with a book recommendation.
It's called Die with Zero. Have you heard of this?
I know this book, and it's on my list to read.
It is interesting because part of this discussion is what you guys are talking about, and it's his philosophy basically is give your kids their inheritance
now.
What now? So that, because the most time, according to the book, that people need money, so to your point, Valerie, is really between 24 and 34. You're paying off student loan debt, you're getting your first home, usually transitions within marriage and kids. Like the most happens usually within that time frame. And they could get a head start, quote unquote, financially, if they had help with a down payment or if they, whatever it is, and then they get to build above that. And they get to start earlier versus them getting money. This is not kind of against you, Bill, a little bit, but versus the older kids now being in their 60s when Bill and Valerie pass to the other side. Well, when you're 60s, you're pretty much all set up. You don't really need it, or you shouldn't. And then what do you do with that, right? So it's just kind of like,
all right, so let's stay there for a second.
Go ahead and use it.
So before we get them, so if that's the case, and you're not necessarily saying they do that here.
No, it's just a take.
They don't. Valerie and Bill, to my knowledge, you two, you all speak up here. You don't have already a set amount that you were going to give outside of this conversation of give them all 10 grand out of this inheritance. But Bill, if I'm hearing you right, you're going, we don't know what chunk it'll be, but whatever we have left when we die, that's what they get. There's not a certain amount of money that you would be in favor of giving them now, this idea that Rachel put out there. Would the two of you go, all right, if we gave them a larger chunk now, would you be okay with that?
Well, my thing is, so we're going to be paying off our house and a few other things that we have. I just don't want to. I would rather that money continue to grow, because now we will be financially set.
Yep.
And then in hopes, if the market is the way it should be, we would have multi-millions in there for them whenever we die.
All right. But that's contingent on you guys stewarding it as you would, and it grows over time. So I appreciate the book idea, but I feel like that's only applicable to people who have a large chunk of money.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, that's fair.
So in
that's
this
fair.
case,
which is them in a sense. They have 3.5 million.
Yeah. So in this case, you two, you're calling us to weigh in the middle of this deal.
And I want to know, Bill, from you. I mean, it's 40 grand, which granted, it's nothing to sneeze at, but 40 grand out of 3.5 million, it's not a ton.
That's where I'm at.
So is it, what's bothering you about it, Bill? It's less about the dollar amount and probably maybe the principle of it?
Is it truly equal to all four, because there's four different situations?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, as a father of three, Rachel's a mother of three. My vote is yes, each one of them gets the same amount. You create a whole, I don't like giving them all different amounts based on their realities.
And you could wait with like the one in college and say, we're going to hold it until you're 25. You know what I mean? There could be an age.
But where are you at on the 10 grand each? Forget the number amount. Is it an equal amount?
Oh, it's equal. Yeah, I think
you
it would
agree with me?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it needs to be equal.
Yeah,
I feel like
Bill.
it'd get real messy real quick. Yes. Even though certain kids obviously maybe need more right now. But I also want this, whenever you give a gift of money, you want it to be a blessing, right? You want this not to continue to harm. So if you do see a situation where this could be actually not good for them and leads them in more of an unhealthy path, that would be more of a pause for me just to think through. That's why the age limit may be something to think about. Like when you're 25, you get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. But no, I'm in favor. Sorry, Bill.
I am too.
I'm on Valerie's side.
Sorry, Bill. 10 each.
And it's such a small percentage compared to what you guys will leave them anyways. So
Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.